Good morning, everyone. Let's give a couple minutes again. Okay, good morning again. Can everybody hear me? Hello, could anybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, so for homework yesterday, last class, you all had to do June 2017 paper 1. So we're going to begin with this. All right, I'm just going to share the screen. All right, you all see the question paper. All right, good. Okay, so let's begin with question 1. Which of the following are considered computer hardware? You have data, programs, operating systems, and output devices. Yes, output devices. Remember, hardware is any device or any something that a part of the computer that you could touch, right? So data, programs, and operating systems are all software. They're considered software. Output devices are hardware, right? All right, number 2. What does 64-bit mean in this specification, which is Intel Pentium 5, 64-bit, 3.6 gigahertz? Anyone remember this from last class? Right, so the processor can process 8 characters at one time, right? So A. Number 3, in modern personal computers, the CPU speed is measured in which of the following units? You have nanoseconds, milliseconds, megahertz, or gigahertz. Right, yes, gigahertz. Okay, now CPU speed could be measured in both megahertz and gigahertz, but the key to the question there is modern personal computers, and that unit would be gigahertz. All right, number 4. Which of the following devices produces a soft copy? All right, so you have the printer, plotter, monitor, and microfilm. Any answers? Right, okay. Remember, you all had this for homework, right? So I'm not seeing much responses in the chat. Only 2 students are responding, and 1 person is responding by mic. So more answers should be coming in. All right, so the answer for 4 is C, the monitor. And that's because the printer, plotter, and microfilm are all hardware devices, right? All right, let's go to number 5. The smallest unit of storage in a computer is which of the following? Let's start going through here. Dion, what did you have for number 5?
I have A.
A, correct, yes, a bit, right? That is the smallest unit of storage. Okay, which of the following is a hardware interface specifically designed for use by a visually impaired person?
B.
Was that Kevin?
B.
B, Braille keyboard, yes. So the Braille keyboard is most appropriate for use by the visually impaired person, right? This is okay. Number 7, we will leave that one out, as that was not part of the syllabus for you guys. Number 8, the task of keeping a company's data files and software organized through the cataloging and storing of tapes and disks is that of which of the following roles? We have an IT manager, file librarian, systems analyst, and database administrator.
So is it D?
Database, no. The answer is B, the file librarian. Key things to look out for here is cataloging, which is similar to in a library. Okay, we have books being stored. Okay, what does the spell check feature attempt to do? Does it indicate spelling errors, restrict unwanted words, restrict unwanted characters, indicate spelling and grammatical errors? All right, let's go again. Okay, Huda, Tom, what answer do you have for 9?
D.
Okay, yes. So this is a question that has 2 answers, which could seemingly be correct, right? But the most appropriate one will be spelling errors. Let me see if I could. All right, let's move on for now. Okay, which of the following is not a function of the control unit?
B.
Okay, so we have to perform arithmetic operations, to read and interpret machine instructions, to coordinate operation of internal registers, and to control sequences of machine instruction. So A, yes, A is not a function of the control unit. That is actually a function of which or what component. Right, very good. The ALU, right? The arithmetic and logic unit. Okay. Number 11, binary number representation. Not going to be assessed on that. Number 12. Let's minimize a little bit. Right. For number 12, it has the picture of a document, right? And the question is, which of the following types of documents is shown in the picture? You have source, turnaround, machine readable, and human readable.
So is it B?
Yes, correct. It is a turnaround document. And remember, turnaround document is a document that has data that could be completed by a machine, and it is printed, completed by a user, and then submitted back to the machine. So the answer is B, the turnaround document. Okay, let's move on to 13. Which of the following printers is most suitable for high-speed printing? All right, let's see. Mamadou, what do you have for this answer? Mamadou, are you there? Miguel, what do you have for number 13? Miguel, are you there? Dominic, are you there? Yes. Okay, Dominic, what answer do you have for 13? Which of the following printers is most suitable for high-speed printing? Okay, so for high-speed printing, we would use the laser printer. Okay, definitely dot matrix and inkjet out. The laser printer is the one you'd use for high-speed printing. Okay, let's move on to 14. Which of the following is a communication mode that transfers signals between two connected devices in one direction only? Okay, let's see who we have here. Nicholas, what answer do you have for 14?
Sir, is half duplex.
Right. So the question, right? Transfer signals between two devices in one direction only. And based on that information, the answer will be simplex, one direction only. Remember, half duplex is transferring signals between devices in both directions, one direction at a time, right? So in this case, the question only stated one direction only, so it will be simplex. Okay, let's move on. Number 15, a system that analyzes data and uses rules and previous information to deliver possible decisions is called what? You have a robot machine, expert system, biometric machine, mainframe computer.
So mainframe computer.
Right. So remember the way how the question is structured, right? It's using rules from previous information. So examples of that will be persons who are competent and experts in certain fields. So for example, doctors who have performed certain procedures. And in a case like that, where the system uses previous information, it is known as an expert system. Okay, our mainframe computer is more of a powerful computer system or systems. All right, let's move on to 16. In the URL http://www.shoes.com, the shoes.com stands for what?
C.
Yes, the domain name, correct. Okay. 17, the primary storage device that holds the data currently being processed by the computer is known as, you have ROM, RAM, programmable ROM, and EEPROM, erasable and programmable ROM. Let's try Brian. Brian, what do you have for number 17? Are you there, Brian? Yeah, no. Let's try Dion. Dion again. What do you have for 17?
I have random access memory.
Yes, the answer for number 17 is B. Remember, when a program is currently being worked on, the data is moved from the storage, secondary storage, to the primary storage, which is RAM. Okay, so the answer is B. Okay, let's move on to number 18. An official of company X sells confidential information about his company to company Y. What is the term used for this type of information misuse?
User.
Is that computer fraud or eavesdropping? Which one did you?
The industrial espionage.
Yes, industrial espionage. That's correct. Right. Remember industrial espionage, right? So by definition, some organizations try to gain an advantage over their competitors by illicitly gaining access to information about their marketing strategy, research, and expansion plans, etc. So based on our definition, the question, the answer to the question is looking for is C. All right, let's move on to 19. Brenda entered 2061 instead of 2016 in a form. What type of error does this represent?
Pieces.
Typographical.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody agrees with B. Any other answers? All right, so the answer is A, transpositional, right? Now, a data entry error such as a transpositional error would occur when the operator enters data using a keyboard and mixes up digits or numbers. So in this case, they mixed up the last two digits. Instead of typing 16, they typed in 61. So this one is a transpositional error. Okay, moving on to 20. Data that has been processed and has meaning is termed. Which are the following options there?
Says information.
Correct, yes, information. Processed data is information. Remember, data by itself generally doesn't have much meaning, but after it is processed, it is referred to as information. Okay, 21. Records on a magnetic tape are stored in which way? You have directly, randomly, sequentially, and indexed sequentially.
Say it C.
Yes, sequentially. That's correct. Okay. Which of the following statements is not true of 3.5-inch floppy disks? All right. So the first one is pictures and text can be stored. The storage capacity is typically around 1.44 megabytes. Information can be accessed more quickly than magnetic disks. Large amounts of data can be stored.
It's B because a floppy disk can hold plenty data. Use disadvantage of it.
Yes, that is correct. The answer is D. Because point B or option B is true, 1.44 megabytes is the capacity of that disk. It implies that large amounts of data cannot be stored on floppy disk. Okay, so 22 is D. All right, moving on to 23. Which of the following protocols allows users in different countries to talk to each other? Let's give let's see if Sorrenta, could you help us out with this answer for 23?
B, sir.
That's VoIP. Yeah, voice over IP. All right, I think she said B. Yes, the answer is B, right? Voice over IP. 24. Which of the following can be termed application software? And for this one, Vikash, what is the answer for 24? There's only one Vikash in the call. Okay, so Vikash, what answer do you have for 24? Okay, Vikash isn't there. Anyone wants to answer using a microphone for 24?
I think it could be B, Internet Explorer, because B and C is OS, right? Linux is OS and Mac is OS. I don't know it's E, but I know it, but it's from my logic, it could be D.
Yes, that's correct. The answer is D, Internet Explorer, right? Yeah, you were correct. Linux and Mac OS are both operating systems, and DOS is an older version of Windows, right? So the answer is D. 25 is part of number representation, and you will not be assessed on that. Okay, moving on to 26. Which of the following is best suited to batch processing? right? And we have salary preparation, online gaming, flight simulation, and theater booking.
So is E what I remember from last class. So I think it's E.
Yes, salary preparation is best suited for batch processing, right? That is the answer. Okay, moving on to 27. Harry interacts with his computer by entering word-based instructions via the keyboard. This is an example of which of the following interfaces. And here you have menu-driven, graphical user, keyboard-driven, and command-driven. Okay, let's see again. Dominique, what do you have for 27? Okay, Huda, how about you? What did you have for 27? Okay, yes. No.
This.
Yes, 27 will be command driven. Now remember, you are using the keyboard to enter the commands, but the interface is still command driven interface. Okay, that's 27. Moving on to 28. Shirt sizes from 8 to 18 were entered into an inventory. Which of the following is a suitable check to ensure that the correct shirt size is entered? Any answers? What answers do you have for this?
So is it a range check?
Right, so there are two answers here that seem could be it, right? So we have the range check and the verification check. All right, so the range check, Dion has there. Anybody thinks it's the validation check? No, so the range check ensures that the data entered is within a particular range, right? Now, the verification check, what that does, it ensures that the data entered is the same as the data that is the source data. So the question they're asking is a suitable check to ensure the correct shirt size is entered. I would say a verification check, because it didn't state, well, ensure that it's outside the range or is range a size of 20 or 6, right? So I think a verification check is more suitable there. All right, 29. An advantage of electronic information processing is, and you have some options: retraining of staff, less human intervention, less savings on hard copies, and increased amount of equipment. Okay, so less human intervention is the advantage of information processing. Retraining of staff is or will be considered a disadvantage because you have to spend time and money retraining your staff. less savings on hard copies should really be worded differently, I would say, for it to be correct or considered correct. And increased amount of equipment is definitely not an advantage, as you have to spend more money to purchase and then run the equipment. Okay, moving on to question 30. Which of the following is an example of physical access restriction used to secure data? All right, let's get some persons talking here. Hannah, are you there? What do you have for question 30? Okay, that will actually be considered a software restriction because the password is something you actually key in to secure your data or information, right? Anyone else wants to suggest an answer for question 30? Yes, someone just put it in the biometric system. So the biometric system will be the answer. Remember, the biometric system will use biometric data such as a fingerprint to allow you entry into area. Okay, so it's normally locked and it's unlocked using the biometric system. Okay, moving on to 31. Selecting or highlighting a paragraph creates a what? File, merge, block, or document. Let's see, Sophia, are you there? What do you have for 31? Okay, no answer. Some answers came in the chat, and yes, it will be C, a block. Okay, moving on to 32. Which of the following buttons can be used to fully justify text? So which one of these icons would you say is used in your word processor to justify text? Right, D. D is the icon used to justify text. Moving on to 33. A primary key that comprises two or more field names is called right. What answers do you all have for 33? Right, so the answer is composite key, right, which is C. Okay, that's correct. Which of the following is not part of website maintenance? So you have selecting the domain, adding new pages, changing web content, and removing hyperlinks that are no longer required. All right. So for this, think about what someone who deals with a website on a daily basis or frequently would do. So first of all, the domain name is the name of your website. So you're not going to be selecting this on a regular basis. This is something you select when planning the website. So that very much looks like the answer, right? Adding new web pages, yes, you will be doing that regularly, as there's new information that needs to be displayed, which is part of changing the web content, and then removing hyperlinks. If you had hyperlinks to certain websites or web pages, you may want to adjust them. So the answer for 34 is A. 35. A student is engaged in preparing a project for submission and is working in Microsoft Word. He wishes to have his student number appear at the top of each evenly numbered page and his name appear at the top of each odd numbered page. Which of the following word processing features would he use? And there's header, footer, manual, typing, copy and paste. So which one of those will he use? Okay, yes, so the header is what he would use, okay? All right, let's move on to 36. 36 refers to the following table containing data on 3 countries, that's A, B, and C, for 2009 and 2010. Which of the following types of charts is not suitable for representing the data above? Right, so the answer for 36 is B. The pie chart will not be suitable for representing this data. Generally, because a pie chart would look at the split or proportion of data as a whole. So for example, if everything adds up to like a population, so 100% population, you want to see how different parts of data split, you could use that. So if it, for example, you wanted to know the population of the data in 3 countries for 1 year, a pie chart would be suitable. But for 2 years, it is not suitable. All right, let's move on to 37. Which of the following is the default justification of numbers in spreadsheets? Okay, and for this question, you can simply open up a Excel spreadsheet and type some numbers, and you would notice that the numbers are right aligned by default. So the answer for 37 is D. All right, 38. Slides can be arranged using which of the following options?
B, sir.
B, the slide sorter, yes. All right. So that's the application you're speaking about. There is Microsoft PowerPoint. Moving on to 39. The use of speaker notes in a presentation software does what? Does it help with help to organize the slides, help the audience to read them, insert sounds into the presentation, or reminds the presenter what to say about each slide? What do you have for 39?
So that B.
That is helps the audience to read them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, No, it's not that. No, what the speaker notes does, it actually is an area within your presentation or the slides that you could display to add additional information for the speaker. So it helps the presenter or reminds the presenter what to say about its slide. Because generally what you will do in a presentation or PowerPoint presentation is you will have like bullet points or diagrams, right? And the presenter actually speaks to those different items. And what they could do is they could have the notes or the speaker notes that he could add more information to remind them what each slide is about. So the answer is D for 39. Let's move on to 40. Which of the following types of software should be used for applications that involve repetitive numeric calculations?
B.
Yes, B, spreadsheet, right? And that's one of the huge advantages of spreadsheet software. It does well with numeric calculations and repeating calculations. Okay, let's move on to 41. Which of the following characteristics must two database tables have in order for them to be linked? So I'll say the most appropriate one for this is composite keys. Okay. Right. 42. Which of the following effects is a special animation effect where the information fades after it has been presented? So for this one requires some familiarity with presentation and presentation effects, right? Does anyone know the answer for this? Right, I see one answer coming there for dimming, and the answer is dimming, right? B. All right, 43 to 45 refers to the spreadsheet below. So we have a table that has some phone models and stock and price information. The values in column B should be formatted using what type of format based on the data? Yes, I see some answers coming in. So that column actually has price information. So the best format for that will be the currency format, right? Not money format, currency format. Okay, 44. Which formula should be placed in cell E2 to obtain the stock balance? So you need to put a formula in cell E2, and that will calculate the stock balance. So what do you all have for 44? Anybody? What do you have for 44? Okay, so remember the stock balance. In order to calculate that, you need to subtract the amount sold from the amount you had in stock. So for example, for this phone model, the 292, the stock balance will be the amount in stock, which is 26 minus the amount sold, right? The answer is 14. So the formula you're going to calculate in E2 will be equals C2 minus D2. So the answer for 44 is E. All right. Let's move on to 45. The function to display the text low in G2 is what? All right, so you want to display low in G2, which would be another column to the right here. Right, so which one of these formulas would you use to display the text low? Yes, if the stock balance is less than the recorder level, you will display low. All right, so the answer will be C. All right, let's move on to 46. To which of the following code structures does the if then else construct belong? So the if then else will actually be selection, right? If a condition is met, you do or perform this process or operation, else perform this operation, right? So selection will be the code structure for that. Repetition would probably be more like a while or for loop. Okay. 47. When breaking down a simple problem into logical steps, what statement or instruction would the adding of two numbers be?
It's easier process.
Yes, correct. The answer is A, a process. Okay. Right. Okay. 48. What is the name given to an identifier that always holds the same value? All right. So the answer for this will hold a value and it will not change for the executionary program. And the answer is A, a constant. Okay. 49 refers to the algorithm below. There are 4 lines in the algorithm, and the question asks which line contains a processing statement.
So, C.
Yes, the answer is C, right? So price equals, sorry, VAT is assigned price multiplied by 15%. So a processing statement or a process is usually an operation. Okay, number 50. The term top-down stepwise refinement used in programming means which of the following options? Anybody remember we discussed this in the last class? right? Okay, so top down would mean breaking down a complex problem into a set of simple sub-problems. Okay, so the answer for 50 is A. All right, 51. When implementing a program, which of the following steps comes after executing? Right, so after you execute the program, right, you've written the code, you have tested, you have executed. Then what you have to do is you have to maintain the program. Okay, after executing the program, it would mean you have the program working well and all the requirements are met, and you'd want to maintain it for any changes, etc. Okay, 52. Which of the following is not a high-level programming language? All right, so which is not a high-level programming language? Yes, that's the right answer. Assembly. Okay, so the answer is D. 53. The last step in solving a problem is to, which are the following options? Test the solution, specify the design, evaluate the solution, or develop an algorithm. Yes, the last step is to test the solution. Okay, moving on to 54. Errors that result from not following the rules of the programming language are called, which one of these errors? Yes, syntax error. Okay, the answer is B, syntax error. Let's move on to 55. So for number 55, you have to refer to the pseudocode below. All right, so you have read A and B, two variables. If A is less than 2, C is assigned 2, else C is assigned 6. And if D is assigned C by B plus 2, write D. What is printed by the pseudocode if the input values are 2 and 5 respectively? Anybody? What do you have for 55? Let's see here. Miguel, are you on the call? No, let's try Mamadou. Are you on the call, Mamadou? What about Vikash? Vikash, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Vikash, what do you have for number 55? What do you think the answer of 55 is?
I honestly don't know, you know.
All right. Would someone like to open the mic and tell me what answer they got? Let's go from the top. Alicia? B? All right. Well, let's go through it, right? Okay, so we're going to input two values, 5 and 2 respectively. So that means A will be assigned 5 and B 2. Now, if A is less than 2, C is assigned the value of 2. A is 5, so it's not less than 2. So we're going to the else part of the pseudocode. So that means C is assigned the value of 6, right? We're going to end that if else construct, and then D is equal to C multiplied by B plus 2. C is equal to 6, B is equal to 2, right? So 6 by 2 is 12 plus 2, and the answer is 14. Okay, so the answer is C for 55. All right, let's move on to 56. Which of the following statements includes loops? So I have sequencing, repetition, selection, or ordering. Yes, repetition, right? 57. Which of the following is a characteristic of a high-level language? Yes, so a high-level language would use English-like statements, right? So statements or the code will be written using using syntax of the words we use on the daily basis to communicate. Okay, so the answer 57 is C. All right, now 58 is a question based on arrays, which well, it has an array in it, which you will not be assessed on. So let's move on to 59. A compiler is software that converts what? Program to output, source code to assembly code, source code to machine code, program to object code, one instruction at a time. Right, so the answer 59 will be source code to machine code. Okay, that's C. All right, number 60. A computer programmer is coding an algorithm which calculates the class average for a given exam. He creates a variable called class underscore ABG. Which data type will he specify when declaring this variable?
Is integer, because like integer is a whole number. Real is like price. Boolean is like true or false, like it's not a character, just a single character.
Well, if it is where finding the average, we're most probably going to have to take a number and divide it by the the count. Okay, so basically we're going to have to take a number which will be the sum of the grades the class received, and then divided by the number of students in the class. So most probably that's going to be a number with decimal points, and the most suitable data type for that is real. Okay, so the answer for that is real. Right. So that's it for June 2017. Any questions based on that paper?
Awesome.
Okay. So what I want you all to do is to open June 2015. Right, you all got that paper, June 2015. It should be on the shared drive. Anybody's got it or was able to view it? Yeah, okay. Anybody not able to access it? No, everybody can access it? Okay, good. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to put you all or split the class into breakout rooms, and you're going to work on some of the questions similar to what you did in last class. So I'm going to do that now. And then I will join each breakout room and let you know how many questions to do. Please accept the invitation to join the breakout room. Okay, I think everyone is back. All right, okay. Welcome back to the main room, everyone. So what we're going to do now is let's take a 15-minute break. And when we come back, we'll go through the answers to that past paper. So we'll join back about 10:40. All right, okay, everyone, let's begin. So group one, what answer do you have for the first question? All right, so the first question was, which of the following are considered computer hardware? Yes, the answer is D. Okay, the second question, resolution determines the clarity of the image displayed on a monitor. The term resolution refers to the number of pixels. Right? Yes, C. Present in a unit area of the screen. Okay. Let's move on to 3. A diskette is divided into a number of concentric circles called. Right. So remember these circles are called tracks, right? And the tracks are further broken up into sectors. Okay, so the answer is C. Now, a group of the concentric circles or tracks is a cylinder, and a group of the sectors is a cluster. But the answer for 3 is C. Okay, the storage capacity of a floppy disk. We discussed this, looked at it in the last past paper. Yes, it is 1.44 megabytes. Which of the following output devices is used to perform input into the computer? Right, the mouse. Okay, because the monitor is an example of an output device. The external hard drive and USB flash drive are examples of storage devices. Okay, number 6. Which of the following is a type of user interface? Okay, so I have IDE, MIDI, ASCII, and GUI. Now, the answer, yes, the answer is D, the GUI. Remember, there are 3 types of user interfaces. There's the graphical user interfaces, or the GUI, the command-driven interface, or the command line interface, CLI, and then there's a menu-driven interface. The answer for number 6 is D, GUI. Which of the following is used by the CPU to temporarily store data? Right, so and for temporary storage of data, that will be done by the buffer. Okay, so a buffer temporarily stores data. Number 8, encryption is used to so disguise data and programs, commit computer crime, discard old equipment, physically prevent user. So based on these options, the most appropriate one will be disguise data and programs. E. That is correct. In modern personal computers, the CPU speed is measured in, we see this question again. And the answer again is yes, gigahertz. All right, remember, CPU speed can be measured in both gigahertz and megahertz, but the key word in this is modern personal computers. All right, number 10. Google Chrome is an example of, yes, a web browser, right? Internet Explorer is another example of a web browser also, right? A search engine, Google is an example of a search engine, and the World Wide Web, well, that's the internet. Okay, number 11, That's a number representation which you all will be assessed on. Let's move on to 12. Which of the following is considered a feature of a biometric system? Diagnose medical symptoms, matches fingerprints, detects irregular habits, and helps to lubricate skeletal joints. And the answer, yes, is B, matches fingerprints. Remember, biometric generally means it's using some sort of feature of the body to identify an individual. So like a retina scan, a palm reader, a fingerprint scanner, this sort of thing, right? Okay, let's move on to 13. Which of the following printers is more suitable for high volume printing? All right, so we discussed this also previously, and the answer for this is yes. So the answer is D, laser. All right, let's move on to 14. The main function of a firewall is that it what? Which is the main function? Yes, that is correct. It prevents unauthorized access to a computer on a network. Right? Remember, a firewall is generally used in terms of networks, and it protects a network from an unauthorized user accessing the network and by extension any devices on it. Number 15. Which of the following provides transmission of data in both directions at the same time? Yes, full duplex. Some key words there, both directions at the same time, right? Remember, half duplex is both directions. Data is transmitted in one direction at a time, and simplex, it's one direction only. Okay, number 16, in the URL, what does shoes.com stand for? Yes, the domain name, shoes.com stands for the domain name. Number 17, which of the following devices produces a soft copy? All right, so yes, the visual display unit or monitor, right, is produces a soft copy. Number 18, a document used for the initial recording of data relating to business transaction is called yes, the source document. So remember, the source document is the initial document or the first document that is used to record data. Number 19, transferring data from a remote computer to your computer is referred to as downloading. Yes, downloading is when you transfer data, for example, a file from a remote computer to your computer. So when you go on an internet browser and you select to download an application or a program, you're downloading the program. If, however, you are transferring data from your computer to a remote computer, it's uploading. So for example, if it is you need to submit a document online, you'll upload the document, which is transfer the document from your computer to a remote one. The answer for 19, however, is right. 20, scrambling of messages at the sending end and unscrambling them at the receiving end is called, for number 20, yes, encryption. Right, so that's the answer. Right, so based on the feedback I received there from Raphael and Tyreek, they did well in those questions. So the second group who worked on or from question 21 to question 40. The acronym HTTP stands for what? Yes, the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. 22. Which of the following statements is not true of secondary storage media?
The answer is B, because the secondary storage media is like hard drive, flash drive, and them they have a large capacity.
Yes, so large amounts of data can be stored. Okay, that is true. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Information can be accessed more quickly than my disk. Yes. Pictures and text can be stored. Yes. So the answer is B. Right. So the capacity is typically around 1.44 megabytes, and that is not true. Okay, 23. Which of the following protocols allows the user to talk internationally?
B, sir.
Yes, B. VoIP or voice over IP. Number 24. You won't be assessed on this, but the answer for that is A. 7. Also 25, right? To answer for 25 is C. Okay, let's move on to 26. Which of the following is best suited to batch processing?
Salary preparation.
Correct. Yes, salary preparation is best suited for batch processing. And also 27, which of the following is not an operating system?
So the answer is E, because Windows is an operating system, Mac is for Mac OS, and Linux is a platform, Windows platform. So the answer will be A.
Yes, that's correct. MS Office is more of an application program, because MS Office comprises of multiple different types of application, right? So they have Windows, Mac, and Linux are all operating systems. 28. The part of the central processing unit where simple calculations can take place is called the
B.
Yes, B, the ALU, or the arithmetic and logic unit. 29. Data can be transmitted.
B.
Yes, the B, the arithmetic and logic unit. Let's move on. 29. Data can be transmitted between devices and computers using a wireless radio technology known as
Bluetooth, because yeah, Bluetooth. Hotspot is more like the internet, I would say. Microwave is like a phone, example of a phone, and fiber optic more for networking, cabling.
Right. So fiber optic is a wired technology. Microwave is more for long range communication. Hotspot is a wireless Wi-Fi. Bluetooth is generally used for transmitting data between devices and computers. And as an example of that, there are Bluetooth peripherals such as Bluetooth printers, Bluetooth. There's mouse. You have a mouse that could be connected to your computer via Bluetooth. So the answer for 29 is A. Number 30. Which of the following limits network access between two or more networks?
Firewall. I think that is the functional firewall, right?
Correct, exactly. So the firewall would help limit access between two or more networks. Yeah, so the firewall is used for limiting access between two or more networks. Biometrics is used for physical security. Encryption, we discussed it a couple of times, is used for encoding and decoding, scrambling data. And the antivirus program will protect a computer system from malicious software. Okay, let's go on to 31. Selecting or highlighting a paragraph creates a
block.
Yes, a block. Correct. 32. To complete her word processing assignment, Susie must align the text to both the left and right margins. Which type of alignment must Susie select to achieve this?
D, justify, because it's like a alignment of left and right together.
Exactly, yes, that is correct. So justified is the answer. 33, which of the following features allows the user to insert individual names in a primary document?
So mail merge.
Yes, that is correct. The mail merge. Remember, in a mail merge, you create a document, sort of like a template called a primary document, and you then place the field that you want to have unique for each document. And then you do the mail merge or complete the mail merge operation, and it creates the merge documents. All right, 34. In Microsoft PowerPoint, a single page shown on the screen to display information is called
A, slide.
Yes, a slide. In PowerPoint, each one of the pages are referred to as slides. A2 is formatted as A, and they have the 2 using what do you call that formatting feature?
Says it as superscript.
Yes, it is a superscript, right? Remember, if the text is to the top part of the to the top of the letters, it is a superscript, and if it's the lower part, the line, is a subscript. All right, let's move on to 36. Which type of chart is not suitable for representing data over 2 years in the
D.
table builder? Yeah, yes, D, a pie chart. Right, we discussed this in the previous paper also. So a pie chart, right? Mainly because a pie chart shows distribution of a total amount of data, right? So if it is we had to represent the data for one of the years, so 2009 or 2010, a pie chart would be a suitable chart to use. But because you're looking at 2 years, that is the one that is not suitable. All right, 37. Which of the following is the default justification of numbers in a spreadsheet?
D, right.
Correct.
Okay.
The right justification, right? So as I said before, to test this, you can open up a spreadsheet and type in some numbers, and you'll see it will be right aligned. 38. Information produced from queries and tables in a specific format can be printed from a database is called
Says it a report.
Yes, is a report. So the answer is B, right? A report. Because in a report, you could actually pull data, information from multiple tables and queries, and then create your own document. All right, 39. Slides can be arranged using
B.
B, the slide sorter. Yes, that is correct. And the last question for this group, This icon here in a presentation is used for
A.
a slideshow view. Very good. Yes, that is the answer for 40. That's some good work from that group there also. Nicholas, Kevin, and Dion. Right. Okay. Group 3. Let us continue with question 41. Which of the following characteristics must two database tables have in order for them to be linked? Right, composite keys, yes. Which of the following effects is a special animation effect where the information fades after it has been presented? Dimming, yes, dimming. 43, which of the following is normally used for website-to-website connection? Hyperlink, yes, remember hyperlinks can link or direct you to another website or another page within, or another section within the web page. Okay, 44, the object that is used to produce a list of records that meets a particular criterion is a right. So this question is asking what could be used to produce a list of records that meets a particular criteria. So if you go back to the SBA we did, right? When we wanted to list all the guests that selected a certain package, or when we wanted to list all the guests that are within a certain age range, or some sort of operation like that, we had to use a query, right? So the answer for 44 is query, D. Which of the following data types cannot be entered into a database table? Yeah, okay. So you could have text in a database table, you could have numbers in a database table. There's actually an option to have fixed text like yes and no. The answer is D, arrays. You cannot have arrays as a data type in a database table. Okay, moving on to 46. What is the answer or the output of the algorithm? Yeah, what did you have for 46? Correct, yes, B. All right, remember we went through this a couple of times, but we have A assigned the value of 7, B assigned the value of 9. A is equal to 9, B minus A, which is 9 minus 7. The answer is 2. And B is equal to A, which is now 2 plus B, 9, which is 11, right? So A is 2 and B is 11. The answer is B. 47. When breaking down a simple problem into logical steps, what statement or instruction would the adding of two numbers be? Yes, a process, right? So 47 is A, a process. What is the name given to the identifier that always holds the same value? A constant. A constant will hold a value and it will never change during the execution of a program. Okay, let's move on to 49. You are given the problem of finding the sum of three numbers and you use an IPO chart to decompose the problem. What is the correct order of the statements to be placed into the input processing and output columns? So for this question, you have to do an IPO chart, right? And the question is find the sum of 3 numbers. So the input will be the 3 numbers, number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay. The output is the sum of the 3 numbers. They're using total here. And the processing will be number 1 plus number 2 plus number 3, which is adding the 3 numbers together. And the option that defines that is D, right? So 49 is D. 50, the integer variables A, B, and C are given the values 6, 10, and 2 respectively. What is the result of the expression? A, MULT, and in brackets, B, div, C. Right, so for this question, we will perform the operation in brackets first, right? So we have 10 divided by 2, which is 5. And then you're gonna have to multiply that by A, which is A is the value of 6. So 5 by 6 is 30. And the answer for that is C. 51. The original code written by the programmer is termed what? Yes, B, the source code. The source code is the original code written by the programmer. 52, errors that result from not following the rules of the programming language are called syntax errors. Yes, syntax errors. The last step in solving a problem is to, what is the last step in solving a problem? Testing the solution. Yes, so the last thing you're going to do after solving a problem is to test, right? The first thing, if we have to arrange this in order, it would be to evaluate the solution, then develop the algorithm, test the solution, right? 54, the Pascal code VRXY would generate an error. The term used to describe this type of error is what? So basically they're saying this line here will be an error in Pascal. What kind of error will that be? Yeah, if you had to guess, syntax error. Yes, the syntax error. Okay, now 55 refers to pseudocode. What is printed by the pseudocode in input values are 5 and 2 respectively. All right, so you're going to read 5 and 2, and they're going to be assigned to A and B. If A is less than 2, A is not less than 2. So C is equal to 6. D is equal to C, which is 6 multiplied by B, which is 2. That's 6 by 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. So the answer, the answer is C. Okay, right. Which of the following statements includes loops? 56. Repetition, yes. Which of the following is not a third generation language? Right, so yeah, which is not a third generation language? So we have assembly, COBOL, C, and Pascal. Out of these 4, COBOL, C, and Pascal are third generation languages. So the answer for 57 is E. All right, 58 is a Pascal specific question, but you all should be able to answer this. Which of the following symbol is used to perform assignments in the programming language Pascal? Yes, the answer is D. Right. 59, a compiler is software that converts the source code to machine code. And then number 60, a computer programmer is coding an algorithm which calculates the class average for a given exam. He creates a variable called class underscore EVG. What data type specify the current variable? Yes, the answer is B. Right. Good work on that, Philip. I didn't see anybody else from that group answering. So good work on that. Are there any questions based on the past papers we covered today?
So,
No? All right. What about questions in general? Are there any questions based on maybe questions you may be trying at home? Remember to, when you're working on the